There's no end to the wagons, buggies, yokes, trains that are lying along this road, and many of the poor horses, mules, oxen, cows that are lying dead in these mountains.
The Trail was a 2,200-mile east-west trail that took pioneers from Independence, Missouri, to the newly discovered Oregon country. The Oregon Territory was a huge territory covering 500,000 square miles. Much of the Oregon country was ideal for farming, and immigrants thought that this was their chance to start fresh from their old realities. They traveled in huge wagon trains with up to 60 families.
Go. Year 1853. Destination unknown. I left Indiana following a band of wagons. Call me a bandwagoner for short. I stumbled upon a little rock called Oregon. It's a crazy adventure. Lost little baby Margaret. I miss home, but it's manifest destiny I followed.
The Oregon Trail was the only known overland route to the Oregon Territory at the time.
Our captain was James W. Bonner.
Captains were easily identified because of their Conestoga wagons, which were really used on the Oregon Trail because of their expensive price.
The wagon we had cost $110. It was the most expensive item on the trip.
Our wagon needed to be able to carry at least 2,000 pounds of supplies so that we could take everything we needed on the long journey ahead.
I was hired by the Larkins to help hunt and look after cattle. Also, I was prepared to travel to Oregon country.
The trip was supposed to last 5 months.
The Oregon Trail spanned over 6 states, including Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho, and Oregon. If Thomas Jefferson had never bought the Louisiana Territory, we would have never expanded west. But since we did, we thought it was our duty and right to travel our newly purchased land on the other side of what is now the United States of America.
Come on, we need to pack. Our wagon train leaves in 2 days. And if we're serious about the trip, then we need to make sure to make it to the train before they leave. Pack.
Are you sure you want to leave our beautiful farmhouse in Indiana?
Yes! We should explore new territory, and it will give us a new experience. Also, it is our duty and our right as Americans to expand west.
Should we put Grandma's chest in the wagon? Yes, of course.
No, we won't have enough space for everything. Coca-Cola.
That same day, Matthew came to ask Mr. Larkin questions about the trip.
What time do you plan on leaving? Where should I put my supplies?
Sunrise. Just leave your supplies back here in this back left corner of this here cart here, yeah.
Thanks again for letting me join your travels.
Well, you're doing us a favor. You're helping us hunt down and keep the cattle together. Much obliged.
The next night, Rebecca, Abraham, and Rachel are packing their things into the wagon.
Abraham, move your board games. I need to put my doll there. No, my games are here first. We don't even need your stupid doll. Your games aren't even important, though. They were here first.
Stop fighting! Mom and Dad are already stressed enough.
Dang it!
It's the morning of the day that they leave for Oregon.
Wake up, we have to leave in 2 hours.
How long is the trip supposed to last? I don't know, 4 to 5 months.
After 2 months of the so far easy trip, they have their first encounter of natives. Although most travelers did not have problems with natives, they rarely saw them along the trip. The natives they came across were friendly and willing to help them with their travels.
Oh, that was a good joke, Kinder. Howdy. How you been today? Good. Good? Yeah.
And also, we speak English.
Oh, English? I do too. I speak Indiana English. Who are you?
We're from the Shoshone tribe. We live from a village from about 3 miles east. We're part of the Shoshone tribe.
Oh, the Shoshone. I heard he had really good salmon. Hey, you got anything to trade me?
Since you're here, we would like to trade supplies for knives, food, or clothes.
Oh yeah? Well, I got a baby here if you want it. I hate this little thing. She can teach.
How about we give you some tips for the rest of the journey to the Oregon Territory?
I would love that. Here you go.
Their encounter with the Indians, the Larkins were back on their journey to the Oregon Territory. But the further they were on the trail, the more problems and hardships occurred. One of the most common issues was death. Death was very frequent during this treacherous journey. One man even pickled his dead family member in a tub of whiskey for the rest of the trip.
July 11th. Past 15 grays, made 13 miles. July 12th, passed 5 grays, saw 8 dead cattle, made 10, and today Margaret was one of them.
Margaret dying was one of the many troubles the Larkins faced during their travels to the Oregon country. The Larkins were moving west to solve their problems in Indiana and to start new. But to do this, they created and faced many new problems for themselves. Margaret lying on the ground and her family kneeling around her, crying, praying, and saying her last words that they have for her before they bury her and leave her behind forever. Margaret's death did not come as a surprise to us, for she had been sick with scarlet fever for a while.
It was awful. We never expected her to get that kind of disease. However, this does make her the second child in our family to die of scarlet fever. And this is the last thing we needed with winter approaching.
After her death, we were all on edge, and only more challenges occurred.
Winter was a struggle the Larkins faced during their journey.
I was not prepared for the extreme difficulties of winter. None of us were ready to take on the frostbite temperatures and the massive amount of snow.
The whole wagon train was stressed about making it through the mountains before winter and the first snowfall.
The Larkins had to cross many landscapes, and rivers were one of them. One of the biggest challenges was taking their wagons and animals across the river.
Crossing the rivers was a hassle and rough on the wagons. We needed all the help we could get to make it across safely.
The animals that couldn't make it died trying to cross the tough currents.
Making sure we had all the kids before crossing rivers was another challenge we faced while traveling to the Oregon Territory.
The mountain men were male fur trappers and explorers who lived in the wilderness. They were most common in the North American Rocky Mountains from 1810 to the 1880s. The Larkins had a friendly interaction with the mountain men along their journey. Mountain men enjoyed drinking, and they were drunken buffoons when they met the Larkins, who had just finished crossing a river.
Y'all good? Alright, bye. Hey, y'all speak English?
Yeah. What's it to ya?
Not much, I don't want no trouble, I'm just passing through.
Okay. Jerry, why are you so sober?
You
That
are
was Friday.
drunk!
That was Friday. Today's Thursday. What's it to ya? You don't want to drink, mister?
Yeah, I do want to drink, mister. This trip has been hard and heavy. Okay.
Bye.
After crossing the mountains, rivers, and making it through the worst of winter, the pioneers were close to the end of their journey. And they had almost reached their destination, which will become their new home.
Are we there yet, Mama?
No, not yet. We only have a couple more days until we're there.
Okay. Could you two shut up? I want to get some sleep before we reach the Oregon country and have to start building a house, which will be hard work. And if you two are smart like me, you'll get some shut-eye as well.
You don't need to be bossy, Matthew. You're just here for the helping hand.
Rebecca!
What? It's true.
It's okay. Sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't always have to reveal the truth.
Days later, the Larkins arrived in Oregon. On flat territory, they saw a rundown native village. It looked as if the inhabitants were forced out. However, they did not pay much attention to it, for they were looking for empty land where they could start a farm of their own. It didn't take long to find one, and they started building and planting immediately. So then they would be ready for the weather seasons approaching.
I told you guys this was hard work.
We all get it, Matthew. You were right.
Yeah, no need to rub it in our faces.
Quit your bickering. We have a lot of work to do.
Larkins worked hard all day, every day, until they completed their house and farm. But they noticed something. The land after their arrival was completely changed. The more they thought about it, the more they realized that they weren't the only ones settling. And with everyone from their wagon train and the wagon trains before and after them coming and starting again on this land too, made the land less like acres of empty space and more like the start of an industrial colony. It was the start of our country. We now had land from coast to coast, and in time, this would become the country we know today as the United States of America.
pioneers. There she blows.
Go. We left for the Oregon Territory.
The wagon we used cost us $110. I will throw my phone at your head and give you a huge concussion. Go.
Wake up.
Go.
Oh, I found my name.
Go.
End that one.
The wagon cost us $110. It was the most expensive item for the trip.
Baron Trump / Tom.
Our wagon needed to carry at least 2,000 supplies, so we would...
But Kate.
No.
Last at least 5 months. The trip was supposed to last at least 5 months. You look so funny.
Can I go?
Oh crap!
The Oregon Trail is the only known overland route to the Oregon.
Rebecca!
The Oregon.
Animals that didn't make.
Get out of it! You're right.
Orange hair.
Get out of here. Leave. Thank you.
What time do you plan on leaving? Where should I put my supplies?
At sunrise, we are meeting the rest of the family to begin our journey. And you can put your supplies in the back left corner of this here wagon.
Can I go?
Yeah.
The wagon we had caught. I'll talk to you.
Oh my god. I'm going to tell you! If you don't start! Stop!
I hear a scooter, right? Scooter gang!
The Oregon Trail is the only over-known route to the Oregon Territory.
It was a long cold season, worse than the winter to be exact.
I was hired by the Larkins to help hunt and look after cattle.
Hey Matthew, how are you?